Hi there, this is Ken with GatheringMagic.com with another episode of Playing on a Budget. This week we are piloting the UG Flash list. This is unfortunately mulligan with one land. Absolutely cannot keep that hand, so yes, we'd like to mulligan down to 6. And again, this is probably not a hand I can keep. I'm going to go down to 5. Yes, I can scry land. You know, we have 2 draws to find it, and with the scry land, we might be okay. We got double Shamblesharks we can cast. I'm not going to mulligan this. Might be a bad mulligan, but going down to 5 with this deck might be the worst thing in the world. I've got 3 draws basically with the Temple of Mystery to hit into that second land, and with 2 lands we can stabilize for a while. But this is just Colossal Gruul. We can just get beat up here. And this could be an aggro deck as well. Okay, it's going to be a red-green aggro deck, which is very, very scary for us to deal with, but hopefully we can get back in this. Again, I really need to hit a land this turn, and if not, I need to scry away a land that's... Alright, so that's horrible. Let's go ahead and scry away this non-land. Ouch. So, there's 2 draws in. And again, maybe that wasn't a keep. It's just, again, a 5-land hand, the odds of drawing a much better than 1 land are getting really dim, and especially with the ability to scry. And I would not have kept that on the draw or on the play, but on the draw it's a little better. So this is going to be, I'm sure there's like Giant Gross in this deck, and the, oh geez. Wow, so this is kind of a horrible matchup for us. A terrible, terrible matchup, as he's just going to go crazy, do tons of damage. I have to hit a land here. Otherwise, yeah, I'm dead. So, and then cards like Shambleshark with his ability to pump up his dudes, which again is going to be like, I'm pretty sure like Gorkland Rampager, Giant Growth, and see if we miss it again. We get Encroaching Wastes, so we actually do hit it, but we can't cast a Shambleshark, which is the problem. I can Syncopate whatever he casts, but most likely it won't be a 2 mana casting cost. It'll probably be like a 1 mana. And so Syncopate becomes very weak here. Okay, we can Syncopate that, and that's actually awesome to Syncopate, because it will keep us in this and prevent him from going crazy with Foundry Street Denizen. So I'm thinking that this isn't a main tier deck right now that we're facing against, but the green-red is just 1 card away. It's just 1 Birding Emissary card, and they need an aggressive card again like Flint Boar, and this deck is back in business. They called this, what they call this, RG Blitz last time around, and you have some cool cards to actually work with. I mean, you still have Gorkland Rampager. A card like Rancor would be really good, but there's plenty of enablers in the format right now for the RG aggro archetype. All right, so taking 3 here, down to 13. He does miss a land drop, which is good and bad for us. And Boon Satyr's not going to do it. Absolutely had to hit a land there. We can Cyclonic Rift something that he pumps, most likely. Hits his land drop there. The only way we can get into this is go land. And it's the problem with... Okay, so that's perfect. Well, he can just recast it if I madcap skills right now. So I'll do it, yeah. I'll do it on his attack. I'll Cyclonic Rift it back to his hand. And that way he can't recast it and pump up his Foundry Street Denizen anymore. So again, that's going to be a ton of damage, though. It's going to be a lot for me to deal with. I'm most likely just going to be beaten down for, 4 here. I'm down to a 9. He's still got another one in his hand to pump up his Denizen. And the first strike is very good with Legion Loyalist, because the Shambleshark is definitely useless here at this point. So I have to draw into a green with Boon Satyr, flash it in, and then keep drawing into mana every turn for the... Wow, okay, so Gladecover Scout's in here for some hexproof madcap skills action, which is going to be an issue. So let's see here if we can draw into a land. There we go, wrong type of land. It's not going to work because of the double blue-green. So I am just going to concede this. I'm not going to let him see more of my deck. I'm going to be taking too much damage. I do hit land streaks there. But again, this is a quite bad matchup for us. The tactics I do believe will come in. I'm not quite certain on the Essence Scatters. I think they're good, but actually these Sensory Deprivations are pretty decent. And I don't know if like Simic Charm needs to be the... Well, it bounces creature and he's using Madcap skills. So I'm thinking that that's better than... I mean, Opportunity is just way too slow. Dissolves are way too slow. Rifts are fine because he is using that Madcap skills. But Essence Scatters are... I think Essence Scatters are very good here. So 3 cards I need to take out. I don't want to go any lower on creatures. I think that maybe Skylasher's bad here. But it is a 2-drop that I need to rely on. And again, maybe I can cut a land. I think I can go to 24 lands, maybe even 23 lands just fine with cutting out the dissolves and opportunities. And if that's the case, I will cut out just 1 Horizon. Well, I think Horizon Chimeras are actually good because it's going to give me a life each turn. So maybe a Briarpack Alpha is just the slower card. Go down to 19 creatures and cut out these. I think 23 lands is fine. All right, so we're going to submit this away. Yes, I'd like to play first. All right, this is plenty of lands. No, I'd not like to mulligan this. We have the Horizon Chimera, and we're going to scry away any sort of land. I could go Mutavault. I could actually go Mutavault this turn. But I think I want the Temple Mystery and scry away any land, keep any creature on top. Yeah, that's awesome. Get a breeding pool out of the way. So now the opposite's happening a little bit. We're getting a little bit mana flooded. But hopefully it's something we can deal with. He snap keeps his 7, so I'm thinking he's got a good hand. I am worried about the Gladecover Scout hooked up with a bunch of Madcap skills and whatnot. But, I mean, he doesn't have a first turn drop, which is really good for me. This turn I can either go Mutavault, or, yep, we're going to keep up the Shambleshark. And I will burn myself here. I hate to give him any information. And that's not even really good against Legion Loyalists, but I mean, this thing has the ability to evolve next turn. There's a Foundry Street Denizen. Did he keep a 1-lander? Oh, jeez. Talk about greed. All right, Snap kept a 1-lander. So I will, end a turn, flash this dude in. And I'm probably going to play a Mutavault. I can untap this. Yeah. I can still activate untap. So it's going to be Breeding Pool into play. Oh, geez. What? I meant to put Mutavault there. That's fine. We can still attack in with our Shambleshark. See if he wants to make the block. He does not want to make that block. And so this can set up a nice little Triton Tactics. We'll see what ends up happening here. So he's down to an 18. The race is definitely on. Again, the Horizon Chimera will get me some life gain. And again, I definitely should have gone that Mutavault route. Clicked on the wrong card there. If he does cast another creature, say like a Legion Loyalist, then I can Mutavault, activate, whatnot. So I think that it is, since he's so low on creature count here, I think that the right move is going to be to untap the Shambleshark, block the Foundry Street Denizen, and now we are in pretty good shape, as we can always flash in this Horizon Chimera based upon what he does. There's another Horizon Chimera. We'll go Mutavault. I'm going to, again, tack in with the Shambleshark. Again, this green-red deck can go crazy. It, again, has access. I'm pretty sure Gorklan's in here. It has access to some cards that definitely do a ton of damage. A ton of burst damage is what I meant to say there. But it is all creature-based deck. All creature-based damage. I wouldn't be surprised if a Madcap skill goes on a Crusader here. It's going to be a Burning Tree Emissary. And unfortunately, I cannot syncopate that. So he does have the ability to go crazy here if he's got another Burning Tree Emissary. And then we'll see why. Yeah, this is why he kept this hand. So, geez. And if it's going to be a Madcap skills, I could be an issue here. Other than okay, so Titan Strength. I could return this guy. and save myself 4 damage, but I still think that Chimera is the way to go. And he's going to Giant Growth this. I will end up returning it. Ranger's Guile. That's just one more. So I could take 5, 6, 7. I still think Horizon Chimera killing a soldier is better than just bouncing this guy. So I'm okay with that. So yep, that's exactly why he kept this hand. So maybe Shambleshark attacking was a bad idea. I could always flash in Horizon Chimera to kill a Crusader, but I'm thinking, well, I could activate Mutavault, kill, bounce. No, he's got Hexproof now. So it's just going to be flash this dude in. Evolves my Shambleshark. Block one of these guys. I'm going to take 6, go to 12. But I can start going to town on him. I will attack with the Horizon Chimera each turn. So I'm gonna gain life, go back up to 13. There's a Briarpack Alpha. That's gonna be great too, because it's gonna give me the ability to burst with the Shambleshark Horizon Chimera. Attack in. He's down to 13. And yeah, I'll definitely Briarpack Alpha evolve and give it +2/+2 to block whatever nonsense he puts on a Crusader or whatnot. So here we go. Let's Briarpack here. Block both the emissaries, and then if this will prevent. I mean, Goreclan Rampager definitely could be in his hand, but now he can't heroic a Crusader at all, so he'll have to use it on the Burning Train emissaries. I'm quite certain there is a Goreclan in his hand. Yep. All right, so which he's going for the Shambleshark, but it still absorbs 3. I go down to an 8. He's got 2 cards in hand. Again, going to draw another life here. Fire Drinker Satyr. Okay, that could end up killing him, actually. So I actually love this forest because it gives me some options. Again, I'm going to attack in with the Horizon Chimera because I want to put him on a 1-turn clock. It's down to a 10. We can Simic Charm. We can Horizon Chimera and activate our Mutavault. So unless he's got the perfect 2 cards in his hand, I don't see him coming back from this. Yeah. And of course we can always bounce something with a Simic Charm too. And he can't really attack in with the Fire Drinker because I just block it with the Briarpack. Interesting deck, though. It's definitely another budget deck, as you can see. Everything in here is commons and uncommons, and this rare, this Fire Drinker. I'm not the biggest fan of Fire Drinker. Maybe Rakdos Cackler, but if he's planning on putting like Madcap skills on it, maybe it's not a bad choice. But generally, I'm not a fan of Fire Drinker because there's so many aggro decks in the format right now that a lot of times that becomes the difference. All right, so Armed gets double strike. So I mean, I could just bounce that right now, but I'll wait till he does something else. Yeah, because I can still just block the Crusader. I don't think he can give it trample anyway. Block the Crusader, or I could bounce the Crusader, activate this, block, and take 3. That might be the better line of play. But he's still got Ranger's Guile, so maybe not. So, let's see what he does here. Okay, so it's definitely going to be, we're going to activate Mutavault. Flash in the Chimera. And if he Giant Gross, I'm dead, so I do have to block it. So that's his only line of play. So it's going to be declaring blockers. Let's see, what's the most amount of damage you can do with one card? It's a Titan Strength, and it'll be, yeah, it won't be enough. So how we're going to block here is Briarpack Alpha on the Crusader, Mutavault on a token, and Chimera on a token. And then that puts him at that puts me at lethal on the backswing. And yeah, I don't think there's any way that they can give him trample. I take 4, and I take a total of, with 1 mana you can just pump it up by 3. So I'll take a total of 7 here. All right, so this doesn't look like there's any pump spells here. I only lose the Briarpack, and he will lose his Crusader as well. He's down to a 10. I'm going to gain 2 life off a draw, and that is actually relevant. Say if he's got like a Fog for whatever reason in his hand. But nope, it was a Glade Clever Scout, so he's bluffing all along. We have a Trampler for that, but anyway, our guys are 3-2 flying anyway. But I think we actually do. Yeah, we do need to give our Mutavault trample. So Simic Charm will allow us to. There's double Simic Charm. That's just brutal. Okay, so go up to 7, and we will activate Mutavault and begin attacks, declare attacks, swing in, and he's going to have to block. He doesn't even block. That's 3, 6. And that is 10. That's 11 damage right there. So, all right, so turn 7, we win that. Again, it would have been a different story if he would have had that second land a lot earlier. I don't know if we could have stabilized. That is the risk you take for keeping 1-landers. I, kept that as well. So we're pretty much even here. So why didn't the Sensory? I thought I brought in all these. Okay, so it's reset my sideboard because I logged out just in case. With Magic, when you see the time clock running and your opponent not doing anything, it's a good idea just to log out and log back in, because sometimes you're on your side, everything looks like it's going okay, and you've really lost connection to the server. It's just, don't get me started on how horrible the software for Magic Online is. I'll get into a huge rant, which we don't want to go there. So anyway, it's just a good rule of thumbs is to just log out, log back in. All right, so opportunities again can come out. Syncopates are okay, but they're going to come out. What do we have here? None of these can come in. This is the stuff that I decided to bring in. I did decide to go down to 23 lands. I think that's still fine. So the Horizon Chimeras do so much work in this deck. I don't think they're coming out. The Dissolves, all 4 of the Dissolves can come out because I think that they are too slow. And I think the Syncopates are a little better than... I mean, Negates might actually be better than Syncopates, as sometimes they just need to counter the Negate type strategy. But I guess Syncopates, he's using all of his mana, so we'll bring in the Syncopates. Keep 1 out. Is there anything else we'd like to take out here? I don't think so. We'll submit this away. We are on the draw here. This is where the Blitz gets scary. Sometimes it comes down to that, whoever wins the die roll against these Blitz decks, because they absolutely need that first turn. And sometimes it comes down to just terrible, terrible hands. This is another 1-lander. I cannot keep it. He does mulligan as well. This is a great card if he doesn't blitz me right off the bat. If I have a turn, if he has a come into play tap land, yes. Okay, I might be okay now, because I can counter everything unless he goes Burning Tree, Burning Tree, Burning Tree again. But I can Essence Scatter. Again, the best thing in the world would be another land. Another comes into play land tapped off the top. Because then I can go Syncopate, Essence Scatter, and good game from there, because I'll be able to stabilize. Hopefully. I mean, that is the plan. So, again, it might just be definitely a scry now, since we have so many lands. Get a land. Oh, wow. Yep, put that on the bottom. I'm getting kind of lucky with the scries here. But again, Burning Tree, and I'm dead. I have no answer for a Burning Tree Emissary here. So Foundry Street Denizen, this is awesome. This is a great, great, great. He does play another land, but I can Syncopate, Essence Scatter from here on out. And if not, I can always Skylasher. So I'm just going to play a island, and there's a rift too. So this is a very powerful hand. And I have a hard time seeing me lose this. The one thing that will kill me is a Glade Clever Scout hooked up with a bunch of enchantment / pumps. But we have the Essence Scatter for that, which nothing is going to be entering the battlefield for a couple of turns. I think if he started to go with the Foundry Street Denizen. If he has the Burning Tree Emissary combo in his hand, he wanted the Foundry Street Denizen to get him a lot of pump this next turn, which I don't know if that's still the right play. I think having power on board versus a deck like mine is key. So here comes a Stomping Ground. He does decide to burn himself. So if he madcap skills, I might just go Cyclonic Rift. But then you're going to have to worry about a Ranger's Guile. Okay, that is going to definitely be Essence Scattered. And I think that really messed up his plan. And again, a Syncopate. I'm going to keep up the Syncopate mana. So I'm going to just do a Forest here. Not out of this yet by any means. He is getting land flooded. You never want to see that many lands. Okay, I cannot deal with Ash Zealot. So attack. I'm gonna kill a Skylasher here to kill off a Foundry Street Denizen. I mean, he could always use a pump spell on it, but that's still a card out of his hand. It says Shock out of his hand. Okay, so I'm taking 4. So now I am in a bit of a pickle. He is down to 1 card, though I need to draw into a card. I got the Cyclonic Rift, but that's just not going to do much work. So the lands are killing me. That is horrible. Put another one on bottom. I can't syncopate anything. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage here. Cyclonic Rift at least will get rid of a madcap skills. Another Ash Zealot, which I cannot syncopate either. So those are great cards against me. So see if he has any sort of pump here. No pump. So pointless just to riff back something that he'll just cast again. So the land flood actually saved him there, which, yeah, because there's really nothing I can draw into. Briarpack Alpha will be good, actually, because it will allow me to maybe favorably block something. We'll see here. But I'm probably just going to get burnt out. He's going to shock me here. So Skylasher for zone, which can't be countered, protection from breach, blue. That's an interesting thing to bring in. Well, I'm a blue-based deck, but yeah, I think I'm just going to get, it's going to be too much for me to handle. I think the right play here actually is to kill off a Skylasher. And take some damage here, but like I said, any sort of burn spell is going to get me. Down to a 4. Hopefully he has nothing. Nothing. Okay, so I can syncopate whatever he brings up and Cyclonic Rift. These lands. All right. So that's one thing this Blitz deck does do, is it punishes any decks that either stumble on lands or get too many lands. Good thing is I can rift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I can syncopate whatever. Wow, he doesn't even do anything here. He's going to try to blitz me out of this. Come on, Horizon Chimera. Come on. One time. All right, so that's all my Temper Mysteries. The other one is on the bottom. Ugh. I don't want this Simic Charm. Absolutely do not want this Simic Charm. So again, he's got to draw into lands here. That's 2 lands on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So statistically, lands are still nothing. So now I can Cyclonic Overload, which helps me against any sort of hexproof. There we go. That is going to be very good if I can get this Horizon Chimera. Skylasher. Okay. So might just need to Rift him. Legion Loyalist. Okay, there we go. That's fine. So on blockers, we'll go for... Again, he can just cast this all next turn, though, is the problem. We'd go here, but we will need to Cyclonic Rift Overload. Yep. But he's still going to be able to cast his stuff because he has so much mana. And again, he's just going to be able to... I have to draw into another land. A card like... A really, really, really good card against his deck would be a... Ooze. Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze would be able for me to gain 4 life here and get a huge creature. So he's going to play the Skylasher right now. That's smart. It's because you can play Ash Zealot next turn, and I'm back to where I started. I can actually Syncopate one of them, maybe. Maybe I should have... Wow, I should have flashed in the Horizon Chimera right there to gain a life. So that was my bad. And hopefully that doesn't end up being the difference. This Legion Loyalist has Trample. So we'll see what ends up happening. I know he's got 2 Ash Zealots in hand and 1 other card. There's Ash Zealot number 1. I'm going to wait for this Ash Zealot number 2, and I'm going to actually Syncopate it and cast... I still think I'm dead, depending on what he has in his hand. Which I think that 1 life actually might be the difference. So here's to hoping he's just got double lands in his hand and an Ash Zealot. Alright, so definitely going to Syncopate this. Unless he pays 2. So yeah, 1 mana off being able to Horizon Chimera and Skylasher. Nothing! He didn't attack! Why? Why in the world do you not attack there? Oh, wow. That is pretty lucky on my part. Rakdos Cackler, he could have attacked. I would have been forced to block. And I know he's out of mana here, so I'm just going to flash this in. And I'm wishing that I would have kept in Opportunity, as it'd give me an out here. Or any sort of draw. This will give me a life, though, and who knows that life. Again, I'd be up to 6 mana if I would have played this correctly. Another overload would actually be kind of cool. So Horizon Chimera, that is awesome. If I can somehow survive. See if it's a Skullcrack. Oh, no, he has no Skullcrack in his hand, so or nor mana to cast it. Plus, I would have just been dead. if that were the case. If somehow I can draw out of this, I mean, I've got 4 blockers. He's got 1 card in hand, though. Somehow I can get out of this and leave my 2 Horizon Chimeras up to block. Yeah, anything here, any haster is terrible news for me. So Magma Jet before he draws gets me down to a 3, which he's going to be able to scry to and find what he needs. Not a bad card. Other than he could have just taken out a Chimera. So puts card on top, on bottom. So he finds what he wants to find, which if it's like an Ash Zealot or a Titan Strength, very, very bad. Madcap Skills on a Skylasher, which puts it up to 5. So I don't know if I can actually... I have to double block that now with a Skylasher. So I think I'm dead no matter what here. So that was a great draw. If I would have had a Cyclonic Rift here, that would have just been awesome. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Does look like we're going to lose this, depending on how he attacks here. Yeah, I don't think there's any... It's the double that I have to do. So even if I did Skylasher, the Trample, too. The Trample actually might just get me as well, because I can block... all... No, I'm still okay, right? Let's see. So if I go declare blockers, block here, here. Yeah, but I lose. I go down to a 1, and I lose everything. Ram down to a 1. So a Cyclonic Rift Overload would be the only thing for me to get back into this. And it'd be too little too late for that, as I don't think there's anything I can do to draw out of this. And Skylasher's not going to do it. The first strike off the Legion Loyalist does it, but it was a close game. Yeah, and again, this is a terrible matchup for me because it's one of those aggressive Blitz decks. And you don't really see these that much anymore in Standard because of, I mean, Mono Blue can kind of keep up with this, at least. And Mono Blue's pretty decent versus this deck. Frostburn Weird is very hard for them to deal with. And then, of course, Tidebender Mage just completely taps down most of their deck here. And then you have like Mono Black is really good versus this deck, as it can just 2-for-1 them if they put Madcap Skills on anything. I mean, this is definitely winnable. I'm sure they put in like Active Treasons or whatnot in the sideboard. So I mean, it's a pretty decent deck. Again, a nice little budget deck. So budget deck versus budget deck. Hope you enjoyed this. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.